So today we are going to learn how to design this beautiful flyer. So we start by opening our Photoshop. So this is our Photoshop. If you open your Photoshop, this is how you see it. So we start by creating our size for the flyer. So by clicking on new file. So after you click on new file, you make sure that your SI units is in pixels, not centimeters, not in millimeters, but rather in pixels. And we are making a weight of 1800, and we are making a height of 1800, and we are maintaining the resolution to be 72. In fact, we are doing social media flyer. Okay, after that you don't do anything here, you just have to click on create. So this is our working space for our design. So because we want to design this kind of flyer, we make sure we have the colors and everything in it. So let's start by picking the colors in this flyer. So by so doing, you have to open where your picture where your design is. I'll add this design to the description so that you upload it in your work. Okay, so by taking the design, we bring it, we don't bring it to the workspace, or you can do that, but I'll advise you to drag it somewhere here, and we pick the colors by using the color picker tool. That's the eyedropper tool. This one, we use this one, the eyedropper, to pick the color. So we pick this color by here, pick this one, and also we pick the background. So and also we pick this color. Okay, then we have white already, we pick white here, and also we pick the green color. Okay, so now you can see on our swatches. So swatches is whenever that color that you use in your design, you are going to get these colors on your swatches. Okay, so now that we have our colors, now let's go to our main design, our working space. So now let's start by creating our background. So from this design, we can see that we have our background to be this color. So if you still don't see your color, you can also use the color picker to pick it again so that we have it as first. So this is our background. Okay, so we do that by, we have so many ways of creating background, but I'll go for this method by clicking on this here, this icon here, and we select solid color to get the color. So this is the color that we have. Okay, now that we have the color, we click on OK. You make sure you don't touch the color, so we do so by locking it. So let's know this icon, making that we have selected the layer, the right layer to lock it. So we are locking this color fill, that is this one. So by clicking on this icon here, lock. So now we have locked it. So now let's start designing our the white design here. Start by designing. You see we have some kind of design style here. So we do so by taking our shape tool. This is our shape tool. Okay, you can use the shortcut to be U for shortcuts. That's the shortcut for our rectangular or ellipse tool, or triangular or polygon tool. Okay, so now that we have our shape tool, we make sure we are selected the white color here, so that we'll be getting a white color for our rectangular shapes. Okay, so we drew that by drawing, clicking and dragging it here. So the moment you click and drag it here, we see we have these properties popping up here, and you can see this is the max place. Okay, this is the max place, but we don't want the max place. We want to curve every corner of this shape here. So we do that by clicking on this one, we're clicking on this icon here, so that we have this kind of properties here. We have the appearance, we have the transform. Okay, so we work on the appearance way. So we want this side to be curved. Okay, this corners here to be curved. So if you are using the latest version of Photoshop, like 2025, 2024, 2023, you have this dot corners here. I'm using the 2025, so I have this one. So I can do that by clicking on one of this icon here to curve my icon like this, or we can use this 1 2 3 4 corners. You see these are corners, the shape corners. Well, you can do that by dragging only one side of it, so that it will affect all the other corners. So we start by dragging it like this. See, they are curving, or we can use this one to curve it. Okay, so now that we have our curve, we push it a bit. Because the reason we are pushing it is because we want to get this kind of design. Okay, this kind of design here. So we're dragging it here like this, and it's two shape. Okay, so we want to get another shape of this one. So for you to get another shape of this one by not doing or not drawing it again, we do so by making sure that your icon, or you are on the move tool. Okay, you're on the move tool, then you select the shape that you want to make a duplication of it. So this is the shape layer, we're on it. Okay, so we select it by pressing Alt key on our keyboard, Alt key ALT on your keyboard. You make sure you click and you don't leave it. Okay, the moment you click, you can see you have two icons now. One is white and one is black. Okay, one is white and one is black, so you can see. So this means that it's ready to make a duplication. So we click and drag to make the duplication. Okay, now that we have the duplication, then you leave your hand. Okay, now that we have it like this, you can bring it like this. Okay, so let's extend these shapes by selecting the two of them. So if you want to select it, you click one, then you press shift key and select the other one, so that we can make enlargement of it. So now that we have this like this, we can press Ctrl+T to select the two of them, and we drag them up like this. Okay, a bit, then later we pull them down and we push it a bit. Okay, we bring it back a bit to have something like this. Okay, so let's push them top. Okay, now we have this kind of design here. As you can see, we have it here. So now we are done with the down part. Okay, we are done with the down part. So for now, let's lock them so that we don't touch them, or we can group them. You can group them too by making sure that you have selected all of them like this. By selecting all of them, I'm using the move tool to select all of them. Okay, so by selecting all of them like this, and we press Ctrl+G to group them. So we can group it and give it a name by naming it. I will name it down information. Down info, that means the down information that I'll be adding. So I'll do that by locking it so that I don't touch them again. Okay, now we are done with the down parts. Now let's do this shape here too. Then later we tackle with the allow cache out and approve cache out. Okay, so we do so by selecting our shape tool again, and let's create a new layer. Okay, after selecting your shape tool, let's create a new layer so that we have a new layer of this shape, so that we don't make it come inside the info, the down info. Okay, we make it that it will be separate. Okay, so we create a new layer of it, so that it's now we have a new layer. So now let's draw our shape. Let's draw our shape. All right, so we have our shape like this. Okay, so we curve it. That one to be, we need to curve the corners a bit. So we are curving the corners, sorry, curving the corners like this. Now we have the corners like this. Okay, let's position it this way. Let's enlarge it a bit by pressing Ctrl+T. You see this kind of points around the shape, so you can drag one side to make it bigger. Okay, if you want to drag only one side to make that side only bigger, you can press shift key. Okay, you can press shift key. Let's say we want to enlarge this top a bit. Okay, so press not shift key, we don't release your hand. Okay, then you press and drag like this. Okay, so you click and drag like this, so that this side will affect the expanding will affect only this side. Okay, so won't affect all the other side, only this side, by pressing the shift key. Okay, this is okay. We bring it down a bit. Now we have our shape like this. Now we want to bring our image to the design. So let's bring our image by locating where the image is. I'll add the image to the link so that you also download the image. So I have my image here as download in my download folder. So I'll bring the image, so I'll bring and drag it here. So now I have my image. This is my image, and I want to remove it from the background. You see, this is a PNG. It's supposed to be a PNG, but the site that I downloaded it from made it a JPEG. Okay, so if it's a JPEG, you can drag it here straight and take the background. But if it is a PNG file, the file format is PNG, this one is JPEG. But when this is PNG, you can't drag it here because the name here background will change to index. So when it becomes index, you cannot do anything about it by taking it off. Taking it off from the background. Okay, unless you bring it to the real project that we are working on. Okay, all right. So now this is our image. So now we want to take it from the background. Okay, we want to take it from the background. So by so doing, we select the selection tool. So this is the quick selection tool. We have so many tools in them: object selection and quick selection. So now we select this one, this quick selection tool. Then we make sure that we have click on select subject. I know so many people will have object selection or something, so mine is select subject. I'll click on the select subject. So the moment I click on select subject, you see I have this selection around my image. So now that I've gotten this in the selection, I'll mask my image by clicking on this icon. So the moment you click on the mask, you get this background off. Now we have our background being off, right? So now let's drag our design. Okay, hold on. Because the name is long, and because of that, it's covering the workspace where that we are working with. You see, this is the on title, so it's not giving us the place to put our image in. So by so doing, it's because I open this work here. That's why we also have this. If this work wasn't here, we could have make the drag and drop easier. But if you are not able to do that, so now let's click on it. We make sure that we are selecting the image. Okay, we are selecting the image. Then we press Ctrl+C to make a copy of it, so that we can click on this here, this area here, and we select the untitled. Okay, untitled one, that's where we are working with. So the moment we select untitled one, then we press Ctrl+V to paste our image here. So now we have our image here. Okay, so now let's close our the one that we took it from the background. Let's close it. Okay, so now we have our image. Now, you know, Photoshop work with layers. These are the layers. You see on this design, this picture was under this one, right? So it was under this layer or under this down information. Okay, so by we doing that, for you to get those this image under this this place, okay, we have to bring this image down to this part. Okay, you see this one too is covering it, so let's bring this one down to this part. Okay, here. But before that, you see it have locked, it have been into the down information. So let's unlock it and let's open it by, so this one is a group layers, so let's unlock it. And also we make sure that it is down here, and we make sure that this one and this one, these two, okay, the one that this is how to turn off layers off. Okay, so this 1 and 2, right? This 1 and 2, 1 and 2, rectangle 1, copy rectangle 1. We have to make sure that the two of them are under here. Okay, and this one too, this one, okay, this one too will be under this one, so that this one will come up, right? And we make sure that now we have this one too under this place. Will be here, right? So we made this a way that this one, this layer, okay, this rectangle will be under this, under the image. Okay, will be under the image. And we make sure that this and these two rectangles, okay, we should call them curves or anything, curve rectangles. Okay, these two ones are on top of this image. Okay, are on top of the image. So now you see is group, okay, they are now into the down info. So by so doing, let's ungroup them. So if you want to ungroup them, you right click them and select ungroup layer. Okay, ungroup layers, ungroup layers. Now that we have ungrouped them, now let's select these two, or only these two, and group them. Okay, these two down and group them. Now we have grouped them, so let's name it down info. Okay, down info again, so that we don't want to tackle it. That's why we are naming it like this, and we are locking it too. Okay, now that we are done with this, so now let's enlarge our image a bit. So we select the image, okay, then we press Ctrl+T, then we enlarge it a bit, right? We bring it this side a bit, all right, this side a bit, and let's push this one up a bit. We will tackle with this down info. Okay, we tackle them very soon. So for you to get your screen to fit the screen, I mean the design that you are doing, for you to make sure that it will fit for you to see everything clear, we press Ctrl+0 so that you see the artboard is now proper. You see, so now this is it. Now we are done with, we have done bringing our image. Okay, you can still enlarge the image a bit. You can still enlarge it. Ctrl+T, you enlarge it a bit. Alright. Okay, now that we have enlarged our image, okay, now let's create this rectangular. How do I, it's a rectangle but we curve it, so I'll still call it rectangle. Okay, rectangular shapes here, this rectangular shapes here. So let's do that by making sure that we are on top of the down info. Okay, we click create new layer, this plus icon to create a new layer, then we select it. We make sure that we are using this color, this light color, light blue color, so that it will be different from the background. Okay, so by so doing we create our shape like this. I've showed you, you can use this one or you can use this one, so let's curve it, or you can use this one to curve it like this. Okay, so now that we have this our curve, let's make sure that it's enclosed a bit by pressing shift key to enclose this area a bit. Right, okay, we have this one, let's make it small a bit. Okay, right, so something like this is not bad. All right, then you can see we have stroke, we have this white thing around our object like this. So let's do that by selecting the object. So selecting the object, you go to the properties. If you are not seeing your properties, you go to the window, you click on, you search for properties from this panel, properties. So now you can see the properties, and you make sure that we have selected the right layer for this shape. That's rectangle 3. That's mine is rectangle 3 because this is the rectangle 3 that I'm working on. So you can see under the properties we have appearance, we have stroke. So we have appearance, we have fill, we have stroke. Okay, so the fill is the color inside it and the stroke is the color around the shape. Okay, so we do that by selecting the stroke, we select the color here. You can see we have the switch here, that switch is here, that we have the colors, we have it here again. So we select the stroke and we select white color for it, and we make sure that the pixel that we are using for the stroke is about 3, right? 3. Okay, now that we have this one, let's place it like this. Okay, let's place it like this, so you can see the design is placed here somehow like this. So we can also reduce this one. Okay, you can still reduce this one, it's too big, and we should drag it up a bit like this, something like this. All right, so we can place our object like this. So now you can see the objects were 2, right? They were 2, so let's duplicate it by selecting it and making sure that your hand is on your alt key, right? So on your alt key you drag it like this, we bring it down, something like this. All right, so you can see in our design this is how it was made. Right, we have it now, we have something like this. So let's curve this one to a bit, let me curve it a bit, curve it a bit. All right, okay, now we have it. Right, so now let's work with the text here and the text here and the design here. But before that, let's work on the design here. Okay, let's work on the design here. So this is a circle with a green color, fill color with green, so we select it. So now let's make sure that we are on top of this layer. So these layers, you see, these are layers, as I already said, these are layers. So the first one is on top of all the layers. Okay, so now we want the green color to be top of them, else if it is down or is down somewhere here, it will be hidden, we can't see it. Okay, so let's make sure that we are on top of this and we click on new layer. Okay, we click on new layer by pressing the icon, then we select the ellipse tool. The ellipse tool will help us to get a circle. Okay, so in Photoshop, for you to get a correct circle, okay, for you to collect, for you to get a correct circle, you do that by pressing the shift key on your keyboard. So pressing on the shift key and drag it like this. Right, so we have something like this. We didn't change the color, so we can change the color by here, or we can change the color by selecting the layer and pressing on green color to get the color. Right, So now we have the color green here. Let's place it somewhere here. We want the same color to be here, so we do a duplication by selecting the object that we want to do the duplication, that's the ellipse tool here, the circle here, and clicking on our alt key, then we dragging it here, right? So in the design, this is how it was here. All right, so we have it here. Okay, now from the design, we see we have this correct sign, correct. If someone gets a answer correct, this is how we mark it correct, right? So this is a correct sign. So for you to get this correct sign, there are so many ways to get it, okay, but I'll show you by using the internet. So you can visit the internet, okay, and go to google.com. So the moment you go to google.com, you can search the name as correct, okay, correct, or mark. You can make it mark sign, okay, mark sign png. Png is we having an object without a background, okay, we having an object without a background. So you can see we have this correct sign. So let's go to the images, okay, let's go to the images and let's search for the one that we want, okay. So I'll go for this. I have some specific ones I really want. Go for this. I really okay, I think mine will be here. I'll see it somewhere here. Alright, so you can select any one that you want, but mine have a specific one that I want. I think I'm not saying it, but I already have downloaded it, okay. I've downloaded it already, so you can download it. In case you want to download this one, you can download this one. You see we have this background tool on it, so I've shown you how to remove it from the background. So already this is mine that I downloaded yesterday. This is mine. So I can bring it here. You see this is also a background, because you see we are having a background here. So by so doing, we can remove this background from it by selecting our quick selection tool. Then we click on select, right? Click on select. So click on select and wait. So you see we have this selection around the object. So now let's do it the maxing tool. We max it, and now you see this one, because the name wasn't long, right? The name wasn't long, so we are seeing our workspace here. So now let's take our control and our move tool and move it to the working space, right? Okay, now we have it. So let's close this one. Okay, so there is it. Now it's green. That's not going to be possible, right? So let's change the color of this object by selecting the object. That's it. Now we have this object selected. We click on FX. You can see we have this FX here. So you click on this FX and you go to color overlay. You select color overlay. So the moment you select color overlay, you see we have under this color overlay, we have this color here as black. So we want white, right? So we select white. We can pick it from here, right? Or we can just drag it to the white section, and we will reduce it a bit because we want it to be small. Okay, so we are reducing it a bit. You can do zoom in, zoom out with your scroll wheel mouse. If you have done so, you can do it in your settings. Okay, so now we have it like this. Let's make a duplication of it too to this side. Okay, so we have this one too. All right, so now we have our this design done, right? This one's done with it. Okay, now we have it done. So now let's be doing our text, this text and this text and this and this text. Okay, so if you are using Photoshop 2025 Windows 11 and you have to up-to-date version, okay, you can do so by opening your picture, and we have this section here that can help us to scan the text. So it will scan every text in this design. So now we have this text, so let's copy this one. Ctrl+C to copy it. Okay, this is for we using the Windows 11, but you can do that by also watching it and typing it one by one. Okay, so mine I've copied it, so it will be simple for me. So now that I've copied it, I'll go to the text tool. I'll select the text tool. Okay, select the text tool, the first two in the text tool, this one. So the moment you select, and see, we have it in a way that without your draw, your font, you see they are in line like this. So for you to get something like this, you can type it and be pressing the enter key. But we have a simple way of doing it. So in Photoshop too, you can drag, you can click here and drag it down like this. Okay, something like this to get a box. So the moment you get a box, you press Ctrl plus V. Now I have this text inside. Ctrl plus V to, you know, bring my text to the text box that we created, and we go to the character and we make sure we are using font called Poppins. I'll give it to the link to Poppins, and we select Poppins bold. Okay, then let's reduce the size by here using this one. This is how to reduce the size. So we click here and we drag it. See, we are having our text. Okay, so now let's increase it a bit. This one is okay. All right, you press this one to make that you are done with it. So this is our text. Okay, this is our text. But looking at the design, we have black and we have green, right? So let's extend our our box a bit. Okay, wait, and let's bring this to down a bit. That should be down a bit. Okay, so now let's make this one to big a bit. Okay, so for me to change the colors for this section to be green, so this is already green, so we want it from SmartCast as easy to be black, right? So you select, double click in it, and you make a selection from to easier as here. Then we select the color black here, or you can change the color by clicking here and dragging it to the black side, right? Okay, now we have the black, but you can see we have this text to be slanted, so let's make it slanted a bit. So we select everything in it and we make it slant here. So we have slants here, or you can go to the, you know, Poppins is a family font, so it has so many other fonts as set font of style in it. So we can see where we have bold and italic. You can make it like this. You see, they are italic. So you see there's a spacing between them. The spacing is too much. So if you want to make a close, we close the gap here a bit, this gap to a bit. We do that by selecting this one. So you drag it, you select it from here. You see the icon have changed, so you drag it from here. Here means you are expanding it, but when you drag it backwards, it means we are getting the gap that we want, right? So this is okay, this is okay. But you see this bolding tool is also cool with it. So let's press Ctrl plus T to make it a bit okay. So now we have this. Now you can see we have with your fonts and we have it the same thing like this. All right, so now let's move on to we doing this allow cash out, approve cash out. So I'll copy it from here. I have it here. I'll copy. You can type it yourself. I'll copy it here, and you can make a duplication of this one too, but this time I'm not doing a duplication. I just want to type it a new thing. So I'll select the text tool or T on the keyboard to get the text. If your T is not working, or if you are pressing on the T and it's not working, you can select it from here. So click and you paste your allow cash out, but this time we don't want it to be slanted, so let's maintain it to be semi bold. Let's make it semi bold. Okay, don't make it bold, semi bold, but not italic, semi bold. All right, and we change the color to be white. Okay, so now that we have it, let's take our move tool and move it here. Now let's make it small. Right, so we have it small like this. All right, we have it small like this. I think the correct size as too big. So let's, for it to maintain equal size, let's select this one and reduce them a bit. Okay, oh sorry, supposed to select this and this so that we can use them a bit. Okay, they are too big. All right, sorry. Okay, so now let's start moving them. Select this one and move it to this side. Okay, and bring it a bit. You can use your arrow keys on your keyboard to move objects to the way that you want. Okay, I'll move this one too. So I'm using my arrow keys to move them. All right, so this is it. We have allow cache out. So let's make a duplication of allow cache out to this place too. You see, in all, we are making sure that they are on top of all the layers so that we can see them, right? Okay, so now let's copy the approve cache out too. Okay, so let's paste. It seems the approve. Okay, let me push this one backwards a bit. It's too close. Okay, right. Okay, it's too big, so let's select the allow cache out. Select allow cache out and approve cache out, and we reduce their sizes to a bit. It's too big. Your design has to be, you know, consistent. So the moment you change this one, you have to change this one too. Okay, change this one, bring it here. Right. Okay, now we have it like this. We have checking it. We have allow cache out. We have approve cache out. Okay, so now we have done this so far. Now let's move on by also doing this test around here. So we select this test. So you have to type. As I already said, you have to type. If you are using Windows 11, you can also, you know, you can see we have to get space and do that. So let's copy this one. Okay, let's first copy this one and do that. Okay, so I have it like this, and we can see from our design we have choose SmartCast as green. So let's select it as green. Select already session as green. Okay, but we should change the font type to be Poppins, but we are making it medium, and we will be reducing it a bit. Ctrl+T to make it reduce like this. And let's make alignment that it should be matching with this side. Okay, it should matching with this side. So let's make sure it's matching with this side. Okay, now it's matching. This pink line means they are aligned. Okay, you can see that it's aligned with this one. Okay, but the spacing is not briefing, so let's select everything like this, making sure that the box selection is I've selected every object that we want to move here, and we press on V for the move tool. Then we can use the shift key, then our arrow key on our keyboard at the top key, and move it a bit like this to get some spacing for the text. Okay, all right, so this is cool, this is nice. Now we are done with the text. Oh, we are sorry if you're not done. We have to do this one too with SmartCast Online, the video SmartCast Online. So let's do that by selecting. So as already said, you have to type them. So I'll copy this one too and paste this. Okay, so this one I want to change the font. I'll maintain it to be this, and also we have this one. So this is their logo. Okay, SmartCast, this is their logo. So we just have to change the text. This one we are changing the text, so let's make a copy of this one, right? And let's copy this. So we paste this one here. So I'll paste it like this, and I'll make it big. This is their logo. Okay, this is their logo. So I'll make it big a bit, and also change the font to actually I don't have their logo, they designed it themselves, so we are doing something to make it nice. So we change the font to Kenya Coffee. I also give you this font, Kenya Coffee, but this time we are making it bold. No, bold is not helping. Let's make it okay, Kenya Coffee regular. I'll give it for this font to you, and we make it big a bit, right? Okay, so now let's bring it this side. Let's bring it this side, right? Let's see it be aligned with this. Okay, so when we are done, we make we squeeze it a bit to make the design fit. See, this place is not really enough for me, so we will make it with that. It will be enough. Okay, so you can see on their design they have some kind of green on their logo, and they have this full stop as their logo. So let's make sure we have this full stop too on our design. Okay, so selecting only the full stop, we change the color to green. Okay, so now we have it like this. So now let's design their symbol here. So we can do that by using the pen tool. This is a pen tool, P for the pen tool. Okay, P for the pen tool. So we use the pen tool, but this time we are selecting the curvature pen tool. The curvature pen tool is different from the pen tool. I mean, it's the same, but how the function, I mean, is different. Okay, so I'll do that by making sure that it's on top. So let's place it on top. Okay, on layer or the top. Okay, by doing that, we click and click the side tool, then we drag it like this. In fact, if you can't do this, I'm okay with it, but let's try to design it. Okay, so we have something like this, but you see we are having fill color. We don't really want a fill color. Okay, this one, if you go to the properties, actually you won't get all those properties there. Okay, to make it fill or stroke, so you can do the changes by making sure you're on the move tool or you are on the rectangular tool. Okay, so you remove the fill color and we make it stroke so that we get this green color here, and we increase it to be let's make it, so you see this one, this here makes you to increase it, or you can even type it here. So let's make it somewhere like, no, 10 is too much, 6. Let's make it like 6. Okay, 6. So the moment we get 6, this is the 6, then we make sure that we have this side and this side close. So we select this line here. You can see we have this some line, white line here. Then we go to caps. The caps, we select this one, we select the second one. Okay, so now you can see we have this kind of curve, and you see the caps is this one closing up, this one to closing up. So we can move it the proper way by moving it around, and we press Ctrl+T to make a rotation a bit so that we can bring it this side. And we, you know, the design was 2, right? 2. So let's make a duplication of it, something like this. It's okay, right? So we can also reduce this one so that this one will become smaller a bit. So we can bring it somewhere here. All right, so let's zoom it out. So this is okay, it's not bad, but actually we didn't get it as they made their own. So this is okay, right? And let's bring this to down to a bit. So now you can see from our design, we are done with this, 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 we are done with it. Now let's do the background a bit. Let's work on the background. You can see we have some dark, I mean some blue, but not other way dark, but it seems to be so dark a bit, or light here. So let's do that by making sure that we are making it under all the layers. So we see this, but not under this fill color, but I mean under on top of the fill color here. So we select the fill color, we create a new layer so that the layer will be on top of the fill layer. So we do that by selecting our circle. This one we can draw any circle that you want, but you see we are still on the stroke. Let's take the stroke off, and let's make sure that we are making the color of, let's pick the color. Okay, let's pick the color. So let's pick this color. let's pick it from here. Okay, we have picked this color. But the moment you pick the color, you have it here on your swatches, or you can also have it here on your foreground color here. So let's select this one. Okay, let's select the circle, and we draw anything, or we can make it a straight circle, something like this. Here, if you press one on the shift key, you get a correct circle, but if you release the shift key, you get any circle that you want, right? Crooked one. Okay, so now I want it to be like this, and the color didn't come, so let's take the color here. Okay, now we have the color. Let's position it, Ctrl+T. Let's position it somewhere here. Right, we have it somewhere here, and we can also make a duplication of what we have done to the top one too. So I'm making a duplication, something like this, but they are appearing a lot. I mean, the appearance is too much for me, so let's make sure we select the two of them, select and select. So you can do that by selecting one layer and pressing the control and select it from here. This is when you are selecting it from the layers, but when you are selecting it from the workspace, you select this one, you press shift key, then you select the other one too. Okay, so now let's do that by reducing their opacity, I mean how they appear. So this here is 100%, so let's reduce the opacity to somewhere. Let's see the outcome. The moment you release your hand, you see the outcome. So let's make it somewhere 42 is okay. So now you can see we have our design, I mean our background. So we don't want to touch them, so let's lock them. But let's look in our design too. We have some kind of lines here, so you can see there's some kind of line here. I didn't use the circle, but I rather downloaded something called texture. So you can search any texture on Google. You can search blue, because we are dealing with blue background, so you can search blue abstract background. Okay, you can get some texture that you want. So actually I downloaded mine, the one that I want, so it's on my download. So I have something like this here. Let me show you. I downloaded something like this here. I downloaded this one, so you have to bring it here to your work. So you make sure that is on top of this. It shouldn't be it should be under the ellipse, the circle that we draw. Okay, and we should enlarge it a bit. So Ctrl+T, and we enlarge it like this. Okay, so now this one, so let's reduce the opacity to somewhere okay, let's make it 22. Okay, 19 is okay, let's make it 19. So we have 19, so we can see we have this design on our back. So that one too, let's lock it. We are done with it. So now we have the design. So now we are moving on to the down information. Okay, the down information. So we can do that by downloading the WhatsApp icon, the Facebook icon, the PNG. I mean, they are all PNGs. Okay, WhatsApp icon, Facebook icon, Twitter icon, LinkedIn icon, and their name. Also download, get it on Google Play to on the internet Google. So you can search it by typing get it on Play Store PNG. So you can see get it play on Play Store. Okay, get it on Play Store PNG. So you can download that. You can download the one that you want, so that you can put it inside your design. So I downloaded mine, so mine is here. I have it here as PNG. You see, this is a PNG file. So the moment you bring it here, you can see we have layer, right? It's a layer, so that one we can drag it. But some PNGs, they will be written index. That one you can't do anything about it unless you bring it to the actual work. Okay, so now let's bring it here to our design. So I'm bringing mine here. Is it? See, it's not visible because we brought it down here, so we have to bring it on top so that we can see it. Okay, so this is it. So let's make it big a bit. All right, so I have it here. So I'll make sure that it will align with the cast. So you can do that by using the wool, dragging it from this side, and let's see if it is aligned with our design. So let's bring it back a bit. Okay, Alright, so we have get it on play on our design. So now let's bring the logos and the numbers, so you can copy the number from here. As I said, I'm using Windows 11 to get this features is very great. So we copy it, and I'll make a duplication of the approved cash out. So you see it's also white, so you can see it. So let's make it black. Okay, so let's paste, Ctrl plus V to paste it. Alright, so this one, let's make it bold, and let's make it big a bit. Alright, Ctrl plus T to make it big. So we have it here. Let's paste it somewhere here. Okay, let's paste it somewhere here, and let's bring our WhatsApp. You can download your WhatsApp logo by also typing WhatsApp icon PNG. So you can download whatever that WhatsApp that you want. You can download it by selecting this one, and you right click here, you go to save image as. So the moment you click on save as, you see this save as type is PNG. You click on save, it will save. So yesterday I got mine, so this is my WhatsApp. So this is my WhatsApp. You see, when I bring it here, you see this one too is having a layer, right? It's having a layer, but it's having a background on it. So by so doing, we can also remove the background from here, but actually I'll use it. I'll remove the background inside my project here like this. Okay, I'll release it. I'll move it inside my project. So you can remove the background by also doing the selection. But this time around, I will not use the selection, but I've already taught you how to use the selection. But this time around, I'll right click on the layer of the WhatsApp icon, then go to something called rasterize layer, right? Rasterize layer. The moment you click on rasterize layer, you see there was some icon here. Okay, there was some icon here. This icon represents that it is in a smart object. Okay, so the moment you rasterize it, it will remove from smart object to a rasterized layer. So you can search more about that, the difference between rasterized and smart object. So the moment I do that, I'll take my magic or my eraser tool, that's E on your shortcuts keyboard, E for eraser. Then the moment I select the eraser, I'll go to the magic eraser, right? The magic eraser, I'll select the magic eraser, then I'll click here to remove the background. Click here, see everything is gone now. So now I have my WhatsApp logo, so let's make it small. Okay, and place it here. So let them all be line. So we bring it down a bit. Okay, so let's bring it here. Okay, we have our WhatsApp logo, so we can select the two of them and move them a bit. Okay, now we have to also bring our SmartCast here objects. So let's copy. Oh, sorry, because we selected it. Okay. Oh, I'm still getting the WhatsApp. Okay. Okay. Oh, all right. Let me do the duplication. Okay. So Control plus V, but we are making it a bit semi bold. We don't want it to be so much bolded. Then we position it here somewhere here. All right. Okay, so now let's bring our Play Store down a bit. Okay, so now we have our SmartCast here. So now let's bring our Facebook and LinkedIn. This is Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So I have the logos too. I'll bring my Facebook. I'll right click on it, go to rasterize, take my magic eraser tool, click, then they are gone. I'll make it small. Here. I'll zoom in to make it small. Place it here. Right, I'll go for my Twitter tool, bring it here. Right click, rasterize, magic tool, then also remove the background. Right, so I have it here. Make it small. Okay, you can see it was touching the other line here. See, they are all in line, so this is okay. So let me go for my LinkedIn. It's my LinkedIn. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'll rasterize it. Magic tool. Okay, that one too is off. Make it small. I will zoom in to see if everything is in line. Okay, you zoom in to make sure everything is in line. So we have to move the the smart a bit. Okay, so now let's move it a bit like this and select the social media and push it a bit too. Alright, so we have something like this. Right, let's reduce the play a bit. Okay, all right, and now let's select everything. Before you select everything down here, let's lock the image a bit. Okay, and select everything and move it to the top of it. All right, so this is it. We are done with the design, but let's select everything and make it smaller. So select everything, Ctrl+T, make it smaller a bit. Okay, but one thing, I left one thing out. We can see we have some white thing in our allow cache out and approve cache out. So we can do that by selecting the allow cache out. Okay, by selecting the allow, this one, the shape of the allow cache out here, and we create a layer on top of it and we select ellipse. Okay, we select ellipse and we draw something like this, and also we change the color to be white. Okay, so the moment you change the color to white, let's reduce the opacity a bit. So let's reduce the opacity a bit. So that after reducing the opacity a bit, then we right click on the ellipse that we draw, then we go to create clipping marks. So the moment you do create clipping marks, it will clip the ellipse tool that we did inside the allow cache out box. That's that circle here that we did, this one. Okay, so now let's make a duplication by selecting the ellipse and make a duplication like this. Okay, now that we are done, so let's make sure that you see we have ellipse, copy. So now let's bring one to this side. We are bringing it to the other triangle that we did. So that one to right click the ellipse, we go to create clipping marks. Okay, so now let's drag it top a bit. All right, something like this. Okay, so you can see we are done. Let's reduce the opacity to make it something like 5. It's not bad. Okay, so now we are done with the design. This is our design. You can see it so nicely. Yes, there it is. So now let's save it. So we have so many ways to save it. So let's save it by going for this. In fact, I didn't even show you how to save the project. So let's save the project first. So Ctrl+X. So they'll ask you where do you want to save your work. So let's say I'm saving it out on my document here. Then I'll type it the name my first design. Okay, so it will save it as Photoshop, PSD. Photoshop have if you see PSD, it means Photoshop document. So we save it as Photoshop my first design. Okay, so the moment you save it, it will ask you, okay, click on it. So you can see it was saving from this direction. So that means our work have been saved, right? So now let's export this to a JPEG form, a picture form. So we can do it by going to file. We have so many ways. Going to file, go to export, go to export as. Okay, go to export as. So the moment you go to export as, this one will pop up, and I might have format here. We have PNG, JPEG, GIF. So I would save it to be JPEG. I think yours you will see those kind of stuff here, but it won't be like mine if you're using the 2020 2021 2019 on, but when you are using a 2023, 2024, 2025, you see something like this. And your quality to mine, I will take it to the last one to make it higher. Okay, so after you are done, you don't do anything, you go to export. So when you go to export, it will ask you where do you want to save it. So I want to save it here on my document here. Then I click on save. So let's go and find out. We go to document and we search for my first design. So this is it, guys. We have our design nicely designed. You see, this is our first design that we did. Okay, so thank you. Stay tuned for more videos and make sure you subscribe. See you.